The snow is falling, and you know what that means? It's not wabbit season, it's not duck season, it's model railroading season.
Do you have model railroaders ADD? Sometimes it can be easy to become distracted at train. Wait, what was I saying? Oh well, I'm going to show you the variety of projects that I have going all at once here on Ron's Trains and Things right now. Hi, I'm Ron of Ron's Trains and Things, and if you'd like to see more of model railroad tips, tools, and techniques, then be sure and subscribe down below and click that little bell icon so you can catch future videos. I don't know about you, but I'm the type that can be easily distracted and can sometimes become easily bored with a project that carries on too long. That's why I often have a number of different projects in the works. And sometimes that can be really beneficial because when I'm working on one thing and come to a stopping point, I can go to another project and keep working. Sometimes it can be a real detriment, especially if you're trying to make regular videos about building your model railroad layout. I don't have any projects that are far enough along quite to produce a video yet, but I have several projects that are in the works. And so this week, I'm going to give you an example of my ADD issues in model railroading. I'm going to show you just a glimpse at several projects that are in the works right now, and you're going to be seeing videos about in the coming weeks. Do you find it easy to get distracted or bored with projects? Do you find yourself carrying on a number of projects at the same time? Tell me about your experiences in the comment section down below. Come on along with me, let me show you around the layout, and I'll show you some projects that are going to be upcoming here on Ron's Trains and Things over the course of the fall. The first project that I have still in the works is one that you are familiar with, and that is this highway overpass and the approach ramp, the interstate highway that comes up to it. This is Interstate Loop 820. Where it runs through Saginaw, Texas. And you see it's pretty much where I left off in the previous videos that I've made. So this is one project that I've got to work on and finish up here pretty soon. I still need to make the abutments for the bridges. And the abutments aren't going to show a lot, but you will see them. But more importantly, this highway has a large concrete apron that covers all of this surface under here from curve to curve. In fact, it goes around the curves on the prototype to help control erosion. And so I'll be modeling that. The abutments still have to do, of course, you know, the scenery underneath the bridge. The highway overpasses are not connected. You can see it still has this kind of abrupt change here. And when I actually glue them down, it'll be a lot more gentle. I've got to scenic all of the approach ramp itself, and I also still have to figure out what I'm going to do along the backdrop to kind of blend this in. I'm going to use some sort of a photo backdrop there to kind of make the transition from this bridge into the backdrop. So this is a project that I'm still working on, haven't forgotten it, and going to be working on it here as we go forward this fall. Here is a second project that I'm going to be working on right away, and if you've seen some of my previous videos, you may have seen me talk about this industry before, but what you see right here is a mock-up of Victory Blue, which is a division of Victory Fuels, and this particular plant and Victory Blue generally makes diesel exhaust fluid, or DEF. This particular facility is in North Yard, and the prototype was at one time actually a feed mill. They took in grain and processed it into sacked livestock feed, and so you can see it actually has a grain elevator, a small one, connected to it, where it would take in that grain and then distribute it to different bins, and then it was used to process. After Victory Fuels bought it, and they transformed it into the Victory Fuels processing facility, it still receives covered hoppers with pelleted urea. It receives tank cars with ionized water, and then it ships out both tank cars filled with bulk DEF and also box cars filled with 55-gallon drums, and also pallets of of 1 and 2 gallon jugs of diesel exhaust fluid. These loading doors were not part of the original facility, but were added. And I've kind of done a little bit of rearranging to the structure in order to make it work. As you see, it's a background building. I'm modeling about half of the building up to the backdrop. Anyway, I made this mock-up some time ago just to kind of be a placeholder. And this facility has an exterior grain elevator, which I already have the model for, that will go there. And then the rest of this is all sided and roofed with ribbed steel siding. So anyway, I've already ordered the materials for this particular project, and I'm going to be getting started on this right away. And so you're going to be seeing the progress of this scratch build coming up very, very soon. And then finally, you might have noticed in the intro to this video some changes to the Beggar's Canyon area of my layout, which is behind me in my intros and conclusions. And you can see I've begun working on some scenery here. Hasn't gotten very far yet. I'm applying real dirt to these hills, and I've gotten a certain amount of it done. As I was working, you know, you always see things that you want to adjust and change. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but up there at the very top, I added a rock peak to the background mountain there. That's going to be a tree-covered mountain. All this is going to be tree-covered, but I thought it would look maybe a little better, a little more natural if I had just a bit of a rock peak up there. I also added this rock outcropping here, which will still have to be colored. And I've got something interesting that I'm going to do here, and I'm going to wait and let you see that in the video. But I've begun, again, applying real dirt to this area. I've also begun the process in at my workbench of making the many dozen pine trees that it's going to take to cover this area. And of course, eventually I'll be working on the waterfall here and the creek down below. And you'll, of course, see that as we go. You'll notice the conspicuous absence of the trestle here. I just got a piece of track hanging here at the moment. Took the trestle out while I'm working on this. But anyway, I've been looking forward to getting some scenery through this area for a long time. And this is going to be a big project. It's going to take some time, but I'm excited about it. And I'm going to probably make a few videos about this process of this area as I go. And you'll be seeing those coming up very soon. So those are a few of the projects that you're going to be seeing in upcoming videos over the course of the next few weeks and months here on Ron's Trains and Things. So I hope that you'll keep tuning in and watch for that scratch build, the progress on the scenery behind me, and of course, the Loop 820 expansion, as well as other videos that will be a part of that as well. Also, just as a little teaser, the Down and Dirty Weathering Contest is coming back. It's going to be a simplified contest, a whole new set of rules. The contest itself will start in January, but watch for announcements and rules over the course of the next few weeks. Well, if you enjoyed this sneak peek at some of my coming videos, here's a link to some more model railroading videos that I know you're going to enjoy as well, so I hope you'll check those out. Also, take a moment to peek at the description down below where you'll find links to my Amazon page and my Amazon Pick of the Week. Some of the great products that I like to use and that I highly recommend in your model railroading endeavors. Also, you'll see a link to my Patreon page, and I want to say thank you to all of you who have been my Patreon supporters over the course of the past weeks and months. I really appreciate you. You'll also see links to where you can connect with me on social media, and I look forward to connecting with you. Well, I hope you'll join me again each Tuesday as I bring you more great model railroad videos, and I look forward to seeing you then. Lizzie? Sink